And welcome back to Parramatta Stadium on a lovely night here in Sydney. It's been a very hot day, but those temperatures are steadily going down. And only a small crowd on hand to see the clash of the home side, the Parramatta Eels, up against the Cronulla Sharks. Peter and Phil and Andrew and the sideline team, including Stephen Price, have set the scene. You've got Cronulla going in as a raging hot favourite. They've won both their encounters in the opening 2 rounds, and of course Parramatta are winless. So they really tonight are faced with the same situation as the Bulldogs were last night. A loss here will see them 9-3, and only 2 sides in history have come from 3 defeats in their opening 3 premiership matches to go on and win the premiership. The Sharks, on their way out, scored 56 points for and 14 against in their 2 victories over the last fortnight. They demolished the Roosters. It was down at rain-swept Shark Park, or Toyota Park, last Saturday. And of course, prior to that, they defeated a very disappointing St George Illawarra. Andrew Eddinghausen seemingly is indestructible. He's been around since 1983, I think, from memory. But he's just what the doctor ordered in a Sharks team that includes superstars like David Peachey and a lot of youth. Trista is back for this match tonight. The number 9, he works very hard, and there's an Iron Man if ever there's been one, Andrew Pearce. He just refuses to miss a match. The only way that he does happen to miss a match is when he's not picked in the actual team. It might be a small crowd, but they're making plenty of noise, and that's good news as Stuart Kelly takes the Eels out. Big night for them. 2 of their stars will start the game on the bench, Jason Smith and Michael Vella, which indicates neither is totally fit. Of course, Dean Scivoletti and Nathan Kalis are still unavailable. I mentioned that the temperatures had plummeted a little bit in the last couple of hours. Andrew Voss on the sideline. Good evening.
Ray, good evening to you. Well, the weatherman tells us it's 25 degrees. To be honest, in the shade here on the western side of the ground, it's quite pleasant. On the Mick Cronin's side of the ground, that's probably 3 or 4 degrees warmer. And the breeze in the first half, a definite advantage for the Eels.
Referee for this encounter is Paul Simpkins. And the video referee is John Gosher. Brett Howland waiting for time on.
Right to go. Move it on side.
It was this match last year that saw the Cronulla Sharks absolutely demoralised, pulverised by Parramatta. 22 points to 0. Weston's tackle is high on Long. Must have bounced up off the shoulder. Nothing said about it. Now Lang. And again Parramatta meet Cronulla right up on the ad line. I think Peter Sterling last year, commenting on the game, made the point that Parramatta were making ground without the football. Trista then coming away from dummy half, and he's made a clean break. Peachey's coming up on his right. He goes the other way. Richardson in and away. They might have bombed if they have. Well, I think Peachey sailing down the centre was the way to go, but then that's with hindsight. Healy's pass is bad. Bad for him.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ray. No doubt about it. Now penalty goes to the Eels. A great opportunity there for Cronulla. Look at Peachey. I think Trista was worried Peachey was going to overrun him. So he gave it on the outside to Richardson. The Parramatta defence was able to get there in time through Stuart Kelly.
And we've been going a whole 1 minute and 13 seconds, and the first interchange has taken place. Jason Smith on the field as Dallas Weston leaves the field. It's great defence. Nick Graham involved, driving towards the sideline, the momentum going all that way.
Cronulla then, with Rogers in from the right wing. Graham, cross, Richardson on, Howland. to reach high up to pull it in.
A few problems for the Eels. Stuart Kelly busted out there at the moment. Hindmarsh, the man replaced by Smith, as Lang hits on the fringe of the ruck.
What a
Great
tackle.
Jason Smith.
What a tackle. Jason Smith called into the game just 1 minute in. McKenna now. Just inside the Eels' 20-metre line. They come away from the Cronin side of the ground. And now with Graham involved heavily. His kick charge down, and it's play on with Long. He didn't restart the tackle count. So Parramatta obviously didn't get a touch on it. Healy's pass again isn't good. Dykes, Peachy. Luke Burt went for a fingertip intercept. It didn't come off.
Oh, my word, he read that well, Luke Burt. They had them for numbers out there, the Sharkies, and they gave it a spin. The defence coming up forced them to pass the football. And look at Burt, he read it so well and just couldn't hang on to it.
Yeah, look, I hate to be too critical, but he should have caught this one, I think. I know he's an 18-year-old in his second season, but he got a pretty good play on that ball. It was in front of him.
It would have been an interesting race with that 70 metres, because Peachy would have been chasing Burt, and he had to give him 5 metres head start. Cronulla still on the attack.
You're right, Paul. He did read it well. He came up from 15 metres behind the line as Richardson straightens. Good, strong tackle from Jason Reedy.
Long. Gee. Just missed the shoulder of Dimmick. Pearce puts it down behind him. Parramatta had a chance. They appeared to knock on. I thought David Wesley, when he had a chance at that, knocked on himself. Here's Pearce. On the replay, the ball goes to ground. No, it's okay. This is Daniel Wagner playing in the centres, listed in the second row. And Kelly is brought from the field. Jason Smith would have taken over captaincy, I suppose, although he opted not to have the job on a permanent basis. So I suppose David Penner would be next in line for the job with no Stuart Kelly. Doesn't really matter, I suppose, as Rogers brings it away from his own 10-metre line, unloads for Peachy. Now they start to outnumber them. Graham is there again. Graham looking around, almost offering the football. They would have talked a lot about last year's encounter here. The Sharks, they were playing at the time good football. They came down here and got bashed up. Play by Long on his own 40-metre line, and Pearce goes up to Wesley, and he with Custo pull him down jointly. Centre of the ground, working towards the Michael Cronin stand side through Dykes, and now McKenna loves to run wide. There's another good tackle over there by Daniel Wagon. This is inside the 40-metre line on the opposition end of the park. Just outside it, I should say, on the opposition end of the park. And Moody it is that brings it back, the former Newcastle Knight.
Nice attacking play there from the Sharks, fanning the ball on the fourth tackle. They do like to play their back rowers out wide. On occasion, it was McKenna as Dallas Weston, his second mistake of the game, and Lang picks up 40 out from the Parramatta line.
Jason Smith has come off the field down at the far end.
Yeah, Hindmarsh back on, Ray.
20-metre line, good position for the Sharks. They've had all the territory in the opening exchanges. McKenna up the middle, the support arrives. It's Treaster, and Treaster gives the ball to Ryan for Parramatta.
Yeah, nice set play right at the middle of the ruck there. And it's hard to believe that Treaster actually passed that football, because the man was right next to him. That support. Well taken.
He was there for half an hour, the Parramatta player. He looked at him and then gave it to him. Parramatta working away from their 30-metre line. What's wrong with Stuart Kelly, Andrew?
Mate, it's not a good report on Stu Kelly. The Parramatta doctor fears a broken left thumb. They're going to ice it up for a little while and see how it is.
Here's Hindmarsh to the halfway. Custo now for Penner, and he gets a kick, spiraling, torpedoing down for Howland to scamper back. Out from his own line. Peachy's the acting half. 2 sets of hands to find Rogers, then 1 set of hands across Reddinghausen, and Penner with a cover tackle goes across and pulls the Cronulla captain down. Lang straight ahead. Vella's on in 23. Lestrange is the, I guess it's not too exaggerated to say, the Jason Smith look-alike. From a distance anyway. Andrew Pearce is tackled right on halfway now for the Sharks. No score.
Yeah, there's Smith on the sideline. There's Mitch Healy. Again run for football. Nick Graham onto Reddinghausen. Someone will need to kick. It's Rogers.
Rogers kicks, and then Luke Burt takes off. He's got Peachy to beat. There's support coming on the inside. David Penner. Oh, Peachy. Peachy's taken them both on and beat them.
And it's got a penalty as well.
Yeah, he passed off the ground. It was a great pickup by Burt, wasn't it? I thought there was a tiny knock on there, but play on it was.
Well, if the Sharks bombed one early in the game, Parramatta have repaid. Luke Burt, he's only got to take the fullback towards the sideline and throw the well-timed pass to David Penner, and Penner scores.
David Peachy gets plenty of raps for his attack. But right there, he proved a real Goliath. 2 of them bearing down on him, and Peachy won the battle.
He actually slipped over and still made the tackle. How good is he?
Peter's right, though. I mean, Burt has passed far too early, and he should have gone to the left towards the sideline to take him out of the equation. He gave Peachy far too much thinking time. Played by Pearce, and now Lang goes ahead. Ryan cocked the shoulder to go in for conventional tackle that didn't quite connect. Now Peachy's into the back line. 16 is Mellor. The ball goes to ground. Burt is with it again, getting plenty of work.
Yeah, I think David Peachy went to kick that football and actually slipped in the motion as Nathan Hindmarsh takes it 40 out. And it does seem as though the Sharks have come here tonight. Yeah, he did trip over. Looking to run the football late in the tackle count to try and surprise the opposition.
Ryan plays it on his own 40-metre line. Hodgson, the fullback at dummy half. Dimmick throwing dummy passes and making the halfway mark. The stranger's pass finding a running Michael Vella. Vella will play it just outside the Sharks 40-metre line. Cross they go to Penner, and he's ridden into the ground by Mellor. In jumper 16 for the Sharks. 5 gone. The kick for Custo. High. Howland and Peachy allowed to bounce by Howland. Parramatta's got a chance. No, Peachy, cool as ever, deflects it over the sideline.
Yeah, put that down to a wonderful kick. It found open spaces. Neither Peachy nor Howland really had time to get there. Bit of a lack of communication as well. And Moody made a good race of it with Peachy.
Sharks guarding what is known as the Brett Kenny Hill end of the ground. Halfway line, Hodgson sending the big number 15, Michael Hodgson, back to them. Vella waits and takes it on the second play. Madison is on in the blonde hair in 15. The other replacement you saw in 14 or in 15 was Eismunger. 20-metre line, Sharks into the ground. Parramatta, a rare opportunity to attack, and Custo goes for a second man play. Dimmick did a Campese. Kidwell. Lestrange is dummy half to the short side. He puts a grubbing kick in, but well, he got the result that he's looking for, I suppose, apart from a try, but it really didn't put any pressure on Cronulla.
His new face in the side, Wade Lestrange, a Parramatta junior. Ball into the in-goal area. And Andrew Ryan out there 21-year-old, a Dubbo junior, pretty well represented tonight, Dubbo. That's Russell Richardson, David Peachy, original New South Wales country town. Quite a wrap for Dubbo to have 3 players involved tonight.
Healy with the line dropout. Not a good kick by his standards. It eventually turned out to be okay after beating Custo as it swiveled around towards Moody. Jason plays it 32 metres out from the Sharks line. Michael Hodgson, centre ground, 25 out now. Parramatta have taken the attack to Cronulla, and Jason Smith is tackled 10 metres away. Lestrange now using the short side. Here they go. Penner. Sharks muscling up in defence. Smith. Dimmick. Runners around him. Arms free. Michael Vella. Vella through one. Gets rid of it. Dimmick gets it away. Hodgson's in. Michael Hodgson has scored for Parramatta. Vella did very, very well.
Yeah, it's great to have Michael Vella back in the side, out with injury. But it's also great to see Jim Dimmick having an impact in this game. He's been plagued by injury for a couple of seasons, 2 touches in this build-up. Gets one round the back there. Vella straightens up, and Jim had to get up off the ground to get involved again. Good enthusiasm, and he realised that if he could get the pass on his outside, a try was on, and Michael Hodgson, replacement player, in fact the interchange player, gets the first points.
Yeah, she's a scrambling try, but pretty well done. They just kept turning up in numbers, didn't they? The Eels in support, and a couple of missed tackles have cost the Cronulla side here. Great ball from Jim Dimmick. He's been doing it for a long time. And Vella, the State of Origin star from last year for New South Wales, back in his team. And there was the miss, allowed Vella to pass the football, and good support from Hodgson.
He might have lost a little bit of mobility over the years, Jim Dimmick. One thing that he does have an attribute is upper body strength. Very good at grabbing 2 and 3 defenders and getting that kind of pass we just saw. Jubilation as Burt converts.
6 points to 0 then. Parramatta, first points on the board for the Eels. We are live at Parramatta. We're back with you in just a moment. 6-0 then. Michael Hodgson gets the try. Converted by Luke Burt as Matt Rogers waits for the tee. Different kickers have different likings. One will call for the tee, the other will call for the bucket of sand. Rogers with the restart there. Welcome back to Parramatta Stadium. The major network has been to a break, and we welcome all viewers watching us wherever, overseas, through the UK, New Zealand, Europe, viewers over in Western Australia, and tonight apparently we're going up through Alice Springs, through Imparja, or Imparja I think it is, my apologies. Now Jason Smith, back for David Penner, the kick inside the 40. The ball sits up abruptly before Howland offloads, or doesn't offload. He dummied to Peachy and went away from the 30-metre line. Well, our guest star personality on the sideline tonight is Steve Price. How are you seeing it, big fella?
Yeah, Ray, well, it's good to see Jason Smith and Jim Dimmick getting involved when Parramatta got the ball. That's very exciting for Parramatta fans. And Cronulla are doing their usual. They're challenging the Parramatta defence, and Parramatta come up with some great scrambling defence. So, you know, it's working out to be a really good game.
Stephen Price, injured last night, couldn't continue after a short period in the game where he left his mark. Sets a fine example for kids on and off the field, does Steve Price, who's with us on the sideline tonight. As Dykes puts a kick in that's far too deep. Come back for the 20 restart.
Yeah, the kicking game is off a little bit, isn't it? That one too long from Adam Dykes because Mitch Healy actually played the football. But really, they They just haven't got that right. It is one of the strengths in their game, obviously. Hasn't been effective so far in the first 17 minutes, as David Kidwell has to reach behind before straightening. He makes a 39 out from his own line. Strange finds Hodgson.
So Parramatta attacking to the halfway, where Vella gets an offload down to Lestrange, and his pass on the bounce for Wagon. Pretty hard to get through down there, though, with Eddinghausen defending on the right of the ground, as he does for Cronulla. Michael Vella's gone without it. The scrum will go down. The advantage will go to the Sharks. They will come up with possession as a result of that mistake made by Michael Vella. In a very good field position. 5-3 the handling errors. The Sharks leading a stat that you don't want to be leading.
I must say that's quite a few errors in the first 18 minutes. 8 combined from both teams. They pride themselves on ball control.
Peachy taken down by Wagon. Cronulla still without Jason Stevens as they get a penalty. Hand on the ball.
Now this will be interesting, the decision whether Matt Rogers kicks for goal here, or whether the Sharks opt to try and mount some pressure, which they haven't really done to date in this game. Michael Vella ruled to be the man stripping the football, and Healy does decide to kick the ball down into the 20-metre area of the Parramatta side and have a good go at them.
Sharks take on Brisbane next Saturday night in our live telecast from Toyota Park. Madison there, Healy now, this is Dykes, now Peachy in, and Howland ran a dummy. Richardson was the man that finished up on the end of the line. Playing it back for David Peachy. This is Sam Eismunger. 25 out from the Parramatta line. Donato is on in 17. Healy. Dykes. Short ball, McKenna. McKenna! 12 metres from the line. Dykes now, using the blind side. Madison. Sharks with a couple left. Dykes. Healy. Eddinghausen from the back. Eismunger grimacing in pain. He's okay. Dykes rolling it into the end goal. Hodgson is there, the fullback. And he just rakes it away from the grasp of a Cronulla player. So we're going to take a drinks break here. Liquid break for the boys at 6-0. Parramatta leading the Sharks. 20 minutes gone. We're back live to Parramatta Stadium in just a moment. Villa leaving the field. So I'm sure that Brian Smith wanted to throw his two big names off the bench into the game as early as he did. His hand might have been forced a bit. Michael Hodgson putting his foot over the dead ball line before actually deflecting the ball over the line. So to come back to the 20-metre line for a restart. There's Stuart Kelly having an inspection done. Oh, gee, that's hurting. Michael Johnson is the doctor. One of the leading orthopaedic men in the Parramatta district is Michael. And the position doesn't look any better for Stuart Kelly, does it? Clinton Shavovsky sitting right behind him. (6-0) Parramatta. We welcome you back on the wide world of sports. You're watching the Saturday night rugby league match exclusively on the 9 network around Australia and being beamed overseas as well. Sky Sports in the UK and in New Zealand. Hindmarsh is underneath the tackle of Martin Lang. Lestrange goes for a little scurry away. 15 metres on their own side of halfway. Hindmarsh loses the ball. Mellor was quick to pounce for the Sharks. Donato to the right of the ground. And McKenna leaning forward to take it in, loses his footing. They pursue the same course, and Lang half got through Wagon. The tackle was left for Penner. Madison. Hard tackle by Michael Hodgson. Try scorer. Healy for Dykes. Dykes then for Richardson. Richardson got a pass away for Howland, who wisely came away from the touchline. Dykes waving players wide to the right of the ground. Nathan Long back for Dykes on the run around. Healy picking up Peachy. Inside ball for McKenna. McKenna outside for Eddinghausen. Down the wing goes Rogers. Rogers is over to score. Simpkins will want to take a look at it. Touch judge, though, I noted, stood in the in-goal area, which is his silent way of saying everything seemed okay to me.
Yes, I guess the only doubt as to whether Matt Rogers does get the football down fairly out wide before taking... Yeah, no dramas there at all. And a very good attacking move from Cronulla. Plenty of hands involved. Chris McKenna, he's had a great start to this game. Plenty of involvement. Again, as the Sharks like to do, scouting out wide the back rowers. Matt Rogers didn't have much room to work in. Burt was coming across, but he's done well to get the ball down. It should be a green light. A very well-constructed try.
Yeah, he can find that line, can't he, Matt Rogers? He's still only a pup, but he gets down low. Cronulla, they took it to the line, brought the defence up. Now, at this stage, the Parramatta defence looks pretty good, but it's Chris McKenna. He's made 2 or 3 clean breaks, and he's offloaded. Once again there to ET, and he gets down low and drives hard. Rogers, that's beautiful stuff. Good involvement also from Andrew Eddinghausen.
Yeah, a couple of key passes weren't there. This one from McKenna and the quick one from Eddinghausen. He realised that he had to give his winger as much time as possible. He drew Burt as close as he could before offloading to his flying winger. He's either got the moves or his goals written down on his sweatband.
From the sideline, just away out to the left of the uprights. 6-4 then, the Eels over the Sharks. A try at the 21st minute, Andrew.
You just don't tire of seeing good football like this, do you? Matt Rogers, he's made it known before that he'd like to make a move into the centres, and he may well get his chance next year with the retirement of Andrew Eddinghausen. But, gee, if you do move into the centres, you lose such a great finisher, don't you? Because that was just great work to finish off superb lead-up work. Now, the story on Stuart Kelly, this was during the drinks break. Dr. Michael Johnson gave Stuart Kelly a fitness test of sorts on the left thumb. They passed a few footballs to him, but you can tell by the expression on his face, all is not well. They are going to give him 5 or 6 minutes more, put the ice back on it, but you'd have to be pretty doubtful about Stuart Kelly making a return to this match.
Plenty of concern on the sideline as Parramatta restart. And Bossy, I've got to say, if Matt Rogers moved into the centres, I think Colin Best would look very comfortable on the wing.
They've certainly got a wealth of try-scoring potential on this side, haven't they?
Stand up, hands off.
Peachy has landed so close to the dead ball line. Oh, boy. So close. He must have been in 2 minds about letting it go anyway. It was a very game call. Played by Nathan Long now. Graham. Healy. Eddinghausen, quick hands. Mellor. Down the right of the ground. Full back to beat. Big man on small man. Healy's pass has gone to Rogers. There'll be a question on whether the ball went forward.
Ray, I tend to think it's going to be okay. I think it went back before going forward. Any opinion, Paul?
Yeah, I thought it looked okay myself, Snorky. And Johnny Lang nods in approval there. He's happy. He liked the look of that one.
And Matt Rogers just saying to the referee that he's caught one around the chin. And he's not a player to complain at all, but he's certainly not happy with a tackle that must have been made as he was scoring the try. Let's have a look at the pass from Mitch Healy.
That's the pass I'm talking about, guys. I think it went forward from Healy.
May well be right.
I wasn't talking about the previous pass from Mellor. I'm talking about the ball from Healy. Gee, I think it travelled forward. I'm not worried about that pass.
No, that one's fine.
This one worries me.
Well, the video referees are looking at the angle of the hands when the ball leaves them. That's what they're looking at. So John Gosha got his work cut out trying to find an angle there. On that one, it doesn't look too bad to me.
All right. Well, my vote goes the other way. I tend to think it's gone forward off the hands of Healy.
And that's the tackle from Jason Moody that Matt Rogers was complaining about. See the left arm swinging.
Put down. Downward pressure right on the line. No problems there. But both teams have assembled for a 20-metre restart.
I'm just wondering if it comes back to ref's call, what he'll do.
Well, Parramatta have assembled that way. I still think the Sharks look fairly confident heading to the other end of the field.
The Sharks are back behind the halfway. They think it's a try. And Parramatta are ready for a 20-metre tap. It's gone to ref's call. And he's awarded the try.
All right. Paul Simpkins awarding a try.
One thing about the referee, he had a good look at it. He was up there, wasn't he? Great hands. They've attacked down that side of the field all night. Beautiful fend by Mellor. And then Healy backing up the inside. There's the pass, but you see where Simpkins was? He was right in line, in good position. Parramatta fans still booing it.
And this is another time where Cronulla, or the Sharks, I'm sorry, would have been expected to kick. Mellor got rid of Ryan, big fend. He did well. He drew Hodgson. And then the Parramatta defence did pretty well also, because there were 4 Sharks players in support. And then Matt Rogers came up swinging. Like, he is not impressed with that tackle from Jason Moody one little bit.
Well, here's Rogers from the sideline. It hits the uprights and goes over. 2 further points. The Sharks 10, the Eels 6. 26 minutes gone. Andrew.
Well, firstly, Ray, amid all these boos, some good news for Parramatta. Stu Kelly has gone back on there. I'll bring Stephen Price in here. This is why the Sharks are premiership favourites, a double strike like this.
Yeah, it is, and it just goes to show possession of the ball can make such a difference. And lately, Cronulla have had that the last couple of minutes, and they've scored 2 quick tries. And now Parramatta have got to work hard again, which is what they're doing right now to get back on top.
Four points the margin. This was the kick. Hitting the upright and bouncing across.
And just on that refereeing decision from Paul Simpkins, he did a great job to be in the exact right position for the referee to be, to make that call. And I've also got to give a big rap to Sean Hampstead for last night. I thought he did a super effort at the Bulldogs-Dragons game.
Nathan Long now. From Donato. They go to Dykes, and Dykes kicks from inside the 40. Taken down on the 20-metre line by Luke Burt. Brett Hodgson. Saw him fall victim to heat stress in the match here last weekend. Played by Dallas Western. And now David Westley. A few metres from halfway, and Ryan or Hodgson coming off as the kick is short, and Peachy losing his footing and then losing the football. Parramatta picking up the advantage. Tackle count resumes, and a penalty goes to Parramatta.
A lack of discipline there from the Cronulla Sharks with the football. Nick Graham, he got up swinging as well.
(10-6). Custo finds that line.
And they'll look to get Kidwell involved here very shortly. He's the big centre in behind the play.
Well, David Westley will not be feeling all that well.
No real blame for David Wesley there. The pass was a poor one from Hindmarsh behind Wesley. He may not have timed his run well, but he had no chance to catch that football where it was thrown.
McKenna. Graham trying to chop his way through down the right of the ground. 35 metres out from his own line. Rogers comes in again. He scored all the points. Lang. High shot. Wesley is the man in question here.
How many times has Martin Lang copped high tackles? He's sick of it. His dad's sick of it. And here's another one.
12, isn't it? Oh, no, sorry. They got contact up here, mate. All right, it's going on record. Get them right down below the shoulders. All right. Too high.
So Wesley goes on report for that. And immediately he is replaced by Michael Vella. Healy finds the line, not looking for a lot of ground. He was looking for safety to set this play up.
Yeah, that's a variation. They sometimes go too wide and get the back line involved. That time the forward straightened up, as McKenna has done on this occasion, to take it inside 30.
High involvement for Chris McKenna tonight. Here's Lang charging down just inside the Eels 20-metre line. Healy, Dykes, decoy runners. Jason Smith taken out by Richardson. Pearce.
The grapple in the back play here between Dykes and a Parramatta player as Treestar juggles the football, and now it's gone from 2 to 22 involved. Adam Dykes is one of the players. There were that many shaved heads out there for the Parramatta side, it was difficult to discern who the other player was. In fact, it's Jim Dimmick.
What we're saying, all right? The game is getting a little bit tense on both sides, all right? We're going to clear it up a little bit in the back play, all right? Get the penalty out of it this time. So you tell them to clean it up, all right? Both sides clean it up. Comes here, no, it's a Cronulla penalty.
Well, he's arguing that Jim Dimmick was the aggressor. He did well there, Jim Dimmick. He wanted to throw one. He was playing the beautiful left, but he decided not to, and that's good sportsmanship there from Jim Dimmick.
Yeah, he showed a bit of self-control, Jim, didn't he? But it still looks like costing his side 2 points. Let's just have a look at how it unfolded. Dykes throws the pass. He's driven by Dimmick.
He just wouldn't let him go, I don't think,
No.
Dykes. So in actual fact, he was probably the aggressor.
And realistically, like, it's something that
It's nothing doing.
it could have been just play on, really, if the other players hadn't have looked to got involved.
Well, both captains are still scratching their heads. Eddinghausen and Kelly, they're equally puzzled by what has transpired here. At the end of the day, the Sharks have got a penalty. But looking at it, it's pretty hard to imagine why. Right in front for Rogers. When you kick them from the sideline, something in front is a presentation. So he boosts the scoreboard to 12-6 for the Sharks after half an hour. Friday night football this week is Sydney Roosters up against the Bulldogs. 8:30 next Friday. Sydney Football Stadium, the venue. Roosters will be looking to get their act together, not only tonight, but next Friday against the Dogs. Long, hit by a wave of Parramatta defenders. Trista. Likewise, Parramatta hunting in numbers and hitting hard.
Well, this is going back to June last year. This is how Parramatta defended, but they kept it up pretty much for the full 80 minutes. Test tonight for the Eels is whether they can maintain it, and they haven't, because Pearce picks up some easy meters, throws a dusty pass, but Long keeps it alive.
Taken down by Hodgson. Just inside the Sharks' 40-metre line. Dykes puts in a kick. Bit of quality about it. Brett Hodgson, the fullback, carries it back. Taken down by Graham and Dykes.
He was Parramatta's best last week in the first half against Brisbane. Brett Hodgson got injured, unfortunately. And a few touches so far tonight. Jason Smith moves into first receiver. Inside pass to Custo.
It's the halfway line. Moran is on. And he and Custo sharing the dummy half roll at the moment. Moran back for Vella. Smith. And the kick. Oh, finding Rogers. Just for a moment, it looked like Luke Burt might have had a chance. Peachy. Well, with Moran on, Parramatta have obviously dispensed with somebody. Now, penalties being awarded to the Sharks.
And Matt Rogers appeared to have lost the football, but the referee reacted very quickly, saying that it was a Parramatta hand that forced the ball out. Just have a look. Luke Burt involved in tackle, yes, and his left arm was the one that went round and pushed it out.
So the penalty from that incident given to the Sharks. The Parramatta crowd went up and then groaned as they saw the ref's arm go up in the direction of the Sharks. Andrew, that point I made about Moran, who is the Parramatta player that's gone for the night?
Yeah, the player out for the night is Wade Lestrange, and I guess it's a case of Brian Smith. He's got an extra 2 replacements. You may as well use them.
Peachy now. Graham. Now that has gone backwards. He's got it back in again. To be fair, Dinkum, the tackle count should have been restarted because it was knocked out by a Parramatta player. Trista. Cross and away from Eismunger. Dykes, Healy across the face of Graham. Peachy. Peachy on the halfway. 12-6 the score. The Sharks in front after trailing 6-0 early. Rogers has scored them all. Healy keeping it down. And Brett Hodgson watches it go dead. Time about 6 minutes off. And Kidwell with a strong run of 15 metres. Restarts the game. Second tackle finds the ball with Jason Smith. Third play is with Dennis Moran. And a penalty goes against the Sharks inside the 10.
And a problem for Chris McKenna, who came out of that tackle very gingerly. Jason Smith takes a 38 out. Playing with plenty of momentum at the moment. The Eels looking to get quick restarts. Custo.
Custo, the ball came off a Cronulla player. 6 more tackles is the ruling. Hudson will play at 12 away from the line. Jason Smith flicking it across. Moran! Moran! He'll make it! Yes! Dennis Moran is over to score Parramatta's second try.
And the referee's gone for the video once again. Might be a slight doubt whether he grounded it, but it looked like he banged it down on the turf. He's been good since he's come on, Moran. Up around the middle of the rucks. No dramas.
The crowd go up as one. They know it's a green light. This will show it up even better. Only a downward motion on this one. But no blame on the referee going to the video replay if he had any doubt at all. I've got to say, very poor defence from the Sharks on that occasion, because they did have numbers there, but they fell hook, line and sinker for the Moran dummy. 3 players looked to the outside player. It opened up like the Sydney Heads for Moran to race through as the green light is signalled.
And since that last penalty went against Parramatta and Matty Rogers potted it over, there's been an uplift in their tempo, a sense of urgency. They've really started to play some good football, a lot more aggressive in their defence and attack.
And keen too, Paul. They got a quick restart.
And that yellow line you see, that's the virtual offside. That's the 10 metres from the ruck. And they're all inside at the Cronulla team. And a dummy fallen for there. And nice work from Moran. Jason Smith did particularly well.
Yeah, just what Matt Rogers, the man who should have made the tackle. He overread it. As we pointed out before, the most dangerous player on the field is the man with the football in his hands. On this occasion, it was Moran. Rogers thought it was going to be Westley.
So 12-10. Yes, through the magic of television, we're able to bring in that visual 10-metre line without overdoing it, but that was what the referee saw. That's what he called. And absolutely correct. Burt, great kick. Straight on line. Let me show it to you again, because this is the first time we've used it. And there is the line, the virtual offside line.
Yeah, Tim Madison was the man in the centre of the ruck. He was about 1.5 metres offside, and Simpkins pegged him.
Rogers to restart. 12 all at half-time, it looks like B. 3.25 minutes to the break. Hodgson obliged to bring it back. Wesley getting himself in front of the ball carrier. Parramatta on their third play. Michael Hodgson. Vella. And Paul is right. Since the controversial penalty that went the way of Cronulla, right in front of the sticks. Seems to be wave after wave of enthusiasm from Parramatta. Peachy pulled down 40 metres away from his own line. Andrew Voss.
Ray, just a point about the Eels try scorer there, Dennis Moran. Not much publicity given to it during the week, but he actually spent a night in hospital after the match against the Broncos, a result of heat stress, just like Brett Hodgson last week. So he's had to come through a bit of a disrupted week to prepare for this match.
Graham. Healy. Dykes. Cuts out Eddinghausen. Mellor. 27 metres away from the Parramatta line. Tackle 5. And here's the bomber. No, he's gone for the drop goal. And the referee says no. Healy catching everybody by surprise. Sure, Parramatta were reacting to the cross-field bomb. And Mitch tried to snap a field goal right on half-time.
So the high tackle here by Mitch Healy on Wesley. And the penalty goes to the Eels.
For the penalties in favour of the Sharks. This is Ryan. Just over a minute to go. Hodgson in from the back. 40-metre line. Dimmick. Vella. Really looks like he's bulked up since last season. Tim Madison is in trouble for the Sharks. Moran is looking for number 2. Oh, it's come off the Sharks. They will force the ball, but it's a penalty. Offside against them. There's a Cronulla player. Madison still seeking attention. The referee has called timeout for that. But there was a quick exchange. And the Sharks have been found offside right in front of the uprights.
Cronulla doctor's been called on. Sort of eye injury. Accidental finger in the eye, it looks like. From the ensuing play, that pass looked a bit dusty, but a nice little chip from Moran. And it comes off Dykes and goes backwards, but then Mellor gets to the football. He's offside. So it would seem a gift 2 points now for the Eels right in front. You'd think they'd take that as Tim Madison looks okay. Heads off for a rest, nearly half time, and Parramatta will finish this first half in front. It's been a good effort from them because Cronulla, when they put that double on in a few minutes, looked like they might run away with it, but they've shown a bit of tick of the Eels. And they'll finish in front.
So Luke Burt to put Parramatta 2 points up at the break. A win tonight, so necessary for Parramatta. 9-3 would be a difficult one for them to dig out of. (14-12) if he gets it. 12 points for the season thus far. Make that 14, make Parramatta 14, and Cronulla 12. That is half-time. 2 tries to both sides. Luke Burt's boot. Just the difference of 2 points in favour of the home side. We will break on Saturday Night Rugby League Live. Be back with you in just a moment. Peter and Phil Gould will be with you as the action continues on the wide world of sports. And welcome back to Parramatta Stadium as we cover the third weekend of the National Rugby League for 2000. Parramatta 14, Cronulla 12. 2 tries apiece, the players about to come back. Parramatta's done so well to be in front. Cronulla have provided us with what is pretty much their trademark. Solid rugby league, plenty of entertainment, lots of razzle-dazzle. But when it comes to getting the sleeves rolled up and the job done, they do it well. But Parramatta has found themselves in front at the break. Rogers has got all the points for the Sharks. The top performers here in the first half. Paul, you've sorted them out in your own mind?
There's been 3 or 4 really good players on both sides tonight. The Cronulla team, I reckon they probably feel they only played really well for about 15 minutes there in that first half. The rest of it, they more or less struggled. A bit of the St George Illawarra syndrome from last night of passing the football instead of running. But for Parramatta, Jim Dimmick, everything that they do good sparks from him, doesn't it? He's been very strong in defence as well with 15 tackles. Jason Smith was very good when he came on. When he decides to run the football, he plays his best football. And Dennis Moran really sparked them when he came on that last 12 or 13 minutes. Cronulla, Chris McKenna was the standout, especially the first 25 minutes where he made 2 or 3 clean line breaks and set up a try. David Peachey, always fantastic, and Matt Rogers, well, he's just a great player.
Second half now. Time on about to be registered. Referee for this game is Paul Simpkins. And Rogers opens the second stanza. Parramatta's Michael Hodgson, who scored one of their tries, brings it back almost to the 20-metre line. Penner floating it through to Dimmick. And Graham it is that wraps him up back on their own 20-metre line. Jason Smith. And just a little bit of a grimace there as he might have got a knee in the thigh. They started the game with Jason Smith and the man that just played the ball, Michael Vella, both on the bench. As Penner clears, Peachey goes back, way back. jointly at the top of the table at the moment with Canberra and Penrith. Canberra doing battle tonight with Melbourne. Oh, gee. Interesting to see this on replay.
Well, Dean Treaster gets smashed here, but the great thing about Dean Treaster, he's hurt, but he got straight up and put his arms up both ways saying, "Look, I'm all right, there's no dramas." It's a high shot from Hindmarsh that is penalised, but to Dean Treaster's credit, he did not want that to escalate, and he got to his feet very quickly. He's up on his feet now, and there you can see the right arm, just the right hand just saying, "It's all right, no dramas."
So Healy with a beautiful kick for line. He's found it down on the Parramatta 30-metre line, and Martin Lang takes it just outside the 20. From Treaster, across for Pearce. And Andrew will play the ball in the centre of the park. There's the 10-metre line, Parramatta's end. Graham, cross for McKenna. Rogers now on the blind side with Graham. They go the opposite way. Dykes has got it. And he's bashed into the ground heavily. He's lost the ball too. One-on-one tackle. That was Hodgson. Michael made this tackle and came up with the football, but there were two in the tackle originally, and I was under the impression that that being the case, you couldn't take the ball off the man being tackled. Another of the puzzling rulings that we're often confronted with. Penalty now to the Eels, and that's against the markers. Interfering with the man playing the ball, Jason Smith, as I said, he took a little injury there in the opening seconds of the second half. His team leading by 2, 3 minutes into the second half, and they get a tap that takes them to the halfway line. Andrew's back from the sheds. We'll go to him at the end of this 6. We don't have to wait that long. We're going to a scrum. Let's go to the sideline. Andrew Voss.
Well, Ray, first up an update on Tim Madison. The same thing actually happened to him 3 weeks ago before round 1, and it was the reason he missed the clash with the Dragons, a poke in the eye at training. He hasn't had any blurred vision, so he's right for this second half. From John Lang, he said, we've got to be prepared for this contest. Parramatta are fired up. We're going to have to play out the 80 minutes. And from Brian Smith, he just wanted to control 25 or 30 minutes. If we have to chance our arm, we will wait to the last 10 to do it. On Stuart Kelly, Sills in some trouble, Stu Kelly, with that thumb. They expect him to play out the match and have some checks later on.
Rogers offloading as he goes to ground. Dykes looking around, wondering which way to push it. Takes the tackle. Treaster sweeping it to the short side. Pearce. He went into them hard, and then they put him down equally hard. Wagon was one of them. Lang. There's the chance for Parramatta to come back with it, and Dimmick it is with the ball. Dimmick on his own 30-metre line there. Hodgson. Moran. Penner. Kelly. Kidwell. That's where they are, 10 metres from the halfway. Kelly. Skies starting to darken with an electrical storm coming down across from the south. There's Dimmick. Puts a kick down into the corner. Howland returns. Hasn't seen a lot of work tonight, Brett Howland. Peachy. A relieving run. Graham. Now they're just outside the 20. Lang.
Now they're 4 good plays, aren't they? Simply one out stuff, but every man put their body on the line. Chris McKenna does the same on the 5th tackle. They've worked very hard to get 42 metres out. and now they're in a reasonable position to kick.
So Healy kicks from inside the 40-metre line, and Hodgson returns for Parramatta. Well, nothing could be simpler than what Cronulla just did. As Peter explained, 5 very simple plays, then onto the boot of the most reliable Mitch Healy, with a chance of a 40-20. Hindmarsh, halfway line, Moran, evasive, Kelly, inside ball, Kidwell's gone without it. Pierce it is for the Sharks. Richardson. I'm not quite sure what he's doing in there. No matter. Graham. Treaster. To a fairly wide blindside, but then pummeled into the ground by Wesley. Lang. Stampeding run by Lang. Get out of the road. Healy. Beautifully judged kick. Right down into the corner, rolling away for a scrum to restart.
Been a very controlled start for both teams really in this second half, but especially for Cronulla. Mitch Healy just to drive the ball deep down and hopefully force a mistake. I must say I've been very impressed by the front rowers this evening for Cronulla. They've been excellent in taking the hard metres, both Martin Lang and Andrew Pierce. I suppose you had to question how tough they were going to be in that area with no Jason Stevens at the beginning of the season. They've certainly got some depth.
Kidwell. An offload for Hodgson. 18 away from the Parramatta line. Weston combines with Wesley. Nathan Hindmarsh. Penner at second receiver. Moran's pass. She looked to go forward to Hodgson. The fullback came in. Wagon got a pass away. Parramatta throwing it around willy-nilly. Almost like their lives depended on it.
Well, the last 2 or 3 times they've had it, Parramatta, they haven't controlled it and played out their set of 6, and it's giving Cronulla a little bit too much possession, but there's another loose ball by the Sharkies.
So to and fro. Tit for tat. Wesley for Smith. Now Jason tries to drive the machine down to that other end of the park. Penner. Ball coming down the dikes. Well, they're both playing panic football.
Well, this totally goes against what the half-time reports were from both sheds. Really looking to throw some miracle passes. As Paul pointed out, Parramatta in their last 4 sets haven't gone through to the last. Another decidedly shaky in defence on a couple of occasions.
Pierce. Madison. You can still hear Peter Sterling just saying 4 minutes ago, it's been a very controlled start by both sides. And it was. And then all of a sudden, the wheels have fallen off. And they both want to gamble. Parramatta has made 30 more tackles approximately. Burt taken down by Healy and Graham. Kelly. Custo running across his 30-metre line. Kidwell straight. Gain of 10. Custo again for Smith on the blind. Gets a kick away. Peachy. Peachy. Look out. Look out. Coming across the halfway. Well, he ran 55 metres to go 5 metres forward. Graham, short ball, Ebbinghausen, inside, Rogers, Rogers! He turned them inside out! Rogers! Rogers! So close to the line! Oh, he's a freak of a player!
Yes, but he just expected a dummy half. There wasn't one. Try-saving tackle from Ben Custo. And then the troops arrived to take advantage of the fact there was no dummy half.
That was good stuff by the Sharks because they created something out of nothing down the short side. Lovely in ball from ET. And Matty Rogers took on the fullback, beat Hodgson, but then Custo came, jumped out of the ground to make the tackle, and Matty Rogers expected a dummy half. No one there.
Now Dallas Weston for Custo. Custo out to the 30-metre line, pulled down by Madison. Kelly. Kicking to clear. Peachy's underneath it and bringing it back. Away from his own 30-metre line. Runs to Howland's wing. Does a 360 and takes the defence. A lot of running from David Peachy, but not going too far. Eismunger. Healy. Long, charging at them.
Oh, he's hit. Is it Kelly?
Parramatta player, I think it's Penner's in trouble. Rogers on pursuit. Bird might have knocked on. Referee said backwards. Bird goes back down the ground. Links up with Dimmick. Now they're coming out to the 40. They're going to cross that with Kidwell and Kelly. Kelly back to Kidwell. To the halfway line, almost.
And as play continues with Nathan Hindmarsh, David Penner, well, the referee has now seen him. Trainers are coming out. Any concern? He just got his head in the wrong position to make the front-on tackle. A big collision. Nathan Long charging onto the football. Great shot that. And whoosh.
So medical attention for David Penner. We'll take a break at the 53rd minute. Back live to Parramatta in just a moment. Parramatta doctor on hand. David just going in the wrong way on Nathan Long. And they've called for the Jordan frame. I think that's the description of it. Back live at Parramatta Stadium. Nine's coverage of Saturday night football. And David Penner on the stretcher and being taken. And that's the incident that saw David Penner stretchered from the field.
Despite the fact he's been taken off on the stretcher, it's just a precautionary measure. He was basically sort of half sitting up at one stage, plenty of movement there.
I thought for a moment it was the Jordan frame they were bringing up, but it wasn't. It was the portable stretcher, and David heavily concussed to the dressing shed. Doctor in attendance, and they knock on, according to referee Simpkins.
The Parramatta players claiming here that Sam Eismunger forced that mistake. He's the Cronulla player on the ground, or the Sharks player on the ground. He didn't make a big effort to get out of the play the ball area, but again, he didn't have a lot of time to be able to do so.
So Parramatta at that scrum had Kelly at half and Custo at 5/8. Donato. There's Nathan Long again. They go in on him, but they all missed him.
There's a few high tackles creeping up here. He's got to get control of this game, Simpkins.
That last one was from Michael Hodgson, and one from the scrum on McKenna. Seen worse pulled up. That was from Custo as Madison goes centre field.
Quick play the ball by the forward. Now Dykes tries to work on it. Got a pass away. Nice hands there by Eismunger. 33 metres away from the Parramatta line. Healy. That's Mellor. Involved in a try-scoring movement earlier in the night. On the last, and Healy goes to the air. High, wide and handsome. It came down. And Parramatta back into the field of play.
Well, I think that's the first time they've put up a bomb tonight, Cronulla. It's been a good scoring weapon for them over the years. Nearly another one coming from that. They did well, Parramatta, to hang on.
You would have seen in the back play, in the pictures, in the aftermath of this, two players in trouble. One was Richardson, the other is Brett Hodgson. Both suffering injuries as they tried to shut that down one way or the other.
Yeah, Ben Custo did very well again there as Martin Lang comes up with strong defence front on with Mellor. The ball was going to go forward back towards the Sharks, but Custo had the presence of mind to be able to push the ball back. And a relieving penalty for the Blue and Golds will be well received.
Paul Mellor with his hand in the play the ball. He comes away with a disgusted look.
How can he? Like, he's dead set. Had the hand on the ball and raked it out and turns around as though he's been done by.
Andrew.
Yeah, well, Clinton Schifofsky's just come into the game now for Parramatta. There's probably some Eels fans at home wondering why Clinton was left out of the 17-man squad. He had groin surgery in the off-season. At the moment, Parramatta are taking it a week-to-week thing. Some games he's coming up okay, other games he's been struggling, so that's why he was out of the 17 tonight.
We should also point out Gary Larson was originally named in the starting lineup. He's out with a hamstring problem.
Here's Kelly. Desperately trying to get it away. Did that come off the boots of Parramatta? It is down with Sam Eismunger anyway. Peachy. .53% of the time the Sharks have been in possession. They're still down by 2. Half-time score unaltered. McKenna. This is Eismunger. This is a good run. Ending just inside his own 40-metre line. Mellor again. Healy dances around Custo. Gee, that was a heavy tackle on McKenna. Then Wagon, who made the tackle, makes the charge down on the Cronulla side, who in turn get the football back. So really, all his good work was undone.
Well, he did very well against Paul Mellor because he ended up with the football in the last, went to put the kick in, it was charged down, he dived on it. He saved his side.
Lang. Pearce. That's Ryan. I think Michael Vella is struggling in back play for Parramatta. Schifofsky played that ball. Dimmock. Drifting, turning it in for Kelly. Standing and unloading. Hindmarsh to the halfway line. Parramatta by 2, 14-12. Moran. Custo. Now it is Wesley. Ridden by Graham. Moran. Cross wide for Dimmock. Runners everywhere. Goes himself and pushes away from Pearce. Runs into Lang. Donato gives an assist as Hindmarsh drags himself off the ground. Custo. Put down by McKenna. Parramatta. Losing the ball as I thought they were brewing up to something.
Just another occasion there where they couldn't finish it off, and they're starting to look pretty good, Parramatta, I reckon. These little men around the rucks, I think they're the ones who'll come into their own. I'm talking Dennis Moran, Ben Custo, Schifofsky, little dummy half runs. They could set up a Parramatta win here.
Lang Gain of 10. Pearce. Jason Smith leaving the ground to make the tackle. Brought a groan from the crowd. Graham. Dykes. 8 metres on Parramatta side of halfway. That hurt him. Healy. And that was good pressure. Jason Smith put pressure on Healy and got the reward. So he's called for the fluid break. When we come back, it'll be Parramatta's football. This is the Wide World of Sports, 14-12 Parramatta. Well, you put in the effort, you're entitled to take out the rewards, and that's what Jason Smith did. Right, I was about to say here, but not here. Was the kick from Healy that Smith athletically tried to charge down. And here it is. He just put Healy off his game, and Healy didn't put it out. He put it out into the crowd. Johnny Lang getting instructions out to his players. The coaches aren't allowed out there during the fluid break. Just checking on the health of Adam Dykes. (14-12). Parramatta over the Sharks. 1 hour of the game gone. Andrew.
A bit of a blue here by the Eels. I'll try and be brief to explain the replacement rule to the viewers at home, but because Clinton Schifofsky came onto the field for Brett Hodgson is now out of the game, uninjured, and the Eels still have David Penner in the dressing room at the moment getting a check. So in effect, their bench is down to 3. Now, Stephen Price, as we've just had that drinks break, you've been a bit disappointed with both sides since half-time. What do you think the instructions were?
Yeah, I think both coaches will just be telling their sides to settle it down, you know, play the percentages and get to the try line, put pressure on the other side. Both sides have got in the quarter and just haven't put the final nail in. They both made mistakes, seen opportunities where they can score and they're not putting the ball over the line. So I think it's just going to be settle it down and take your chances when they come instead of trying to make them.
Preachy puts in a couple of long strides to shut down the Parramatta aspirations of a try. Graham. Howland. Now for Donato.
I say, Ray, looking at the body language of these two sides as we go into the final quarter of this game, Parramatta Eels look much more buoyant than their opponents. A bit more tiredness in the Sharks lineup. Has he dropped that one, or is it Ray? No, dropped. And if you're looking at the way that they're moving around, you've got to say they're not just in front on the scoreboard, the Eels, but so in their heads.
Well, it was one-on-one anyway, so there was no problem there for Jason Smith. It's the second time Smith has gone up himself and gone up to shut the ball down on Andrew Pearce, who's giving him a torrid second half. Tidwell. Kelly and Custo. Latter taking it just inside the 20.
David Penner back on for Parramatta.
Hindmarsh, a great run. Knocked on by Jason Smith. The scrum will see a loose head and feed for the Sharks at the 62nd minute.
That's just what Stephen Price is talking about on the sideline. Another opportunity. Just had to close this football down, take the tackle, get ready. Nice quick play the ball, but couldn't resist the pass, and it was just a bad one.
Friday night, we go back to the Sydney Football Stadium for the Roosters up against the Bulldogs. That's on at 8:30 on replay. And next Saturday night we go to Toyota Park for Cronulla versus Brisbane. One of the blockbusters of the year. Cronulla and Brisbane on Saturday night. Donato for Pearce. And ironically, again, Jason Smith was there waiting for him. Done some heavy work, Jason. Nathan Long bouncing off Ben Custo. 8 metres from the halfway. Dykes, a little grubbing kick. In the back play, Dykes was tackled, but referee saw it and said play on. Custo. Kelly. Smith. Wesley. Heavy tackle by Long up top and Healy down below. This play now goes to the right of the ground for Parramatta. And Dimmick getting it across for Kidwell. Kidwell. 25 out from the line. Now, Hudson. 7 metres away. Moody. David Penner. Wagon goes up and comes down with it. Gets it away for Kelly. Kelly going over the line. Gets it away for Burt. Burt has scored. Burt has scored. What a try. What hands by Kelly. What a kick by Penner. 18-12 the Eels.
And it may well be the match winner even this far out. Lovely pass from Jason Moody at dummy half. Gave Penner time. Wagon does well. Turns his back. Gets the football. Pops it up. Now Stuart Kelly is going over the sideline here, but he throws it back in. And Luke Burt was there to pick up the scraps. David Peachey can't believe it. Everything was executed just exactly right.
They're finishing hard, the Eels, and at last they completed the set of 6. A big kick on the end of it. First time for ages they've been able to do that. And Rogers went up for it. Maybe he should have just waited, been a bit more patient and let Wagon take the football and tackle him. But lovely hands on the inside. Desperation stuff from Kelly, but it paid off.
Yeah, it took some skill there from Stuart Kelly. Just have a look. If he tries to throw the normal orthodox pass, it goes forward. But he throws a flick pass, and that's not easy in this instance. Have a look at this. He flicks it back in. I really think any other pass goes forward.
Great camera work by whoever's doing that side, that shot across the try line. Great stuff.
I think that's Joe the
On you, Joe.
On you, Joey, champion.
Oh, not Joe again. Well, I'll be damned. Who said he can't film, he can't shoot? Luke Burt! And it's away to the right of the uprights. 18 points to 12. 15 to go. Andrew, another look at it.
Well, Stuart Kelly, it's been courageous stuff. Don't be surprised if around about 10 o'clock tonight he's found out he actually does have a broken thumb, but he's the captain of the side. He didn't want to leave them in the lurch tonight. He's come back out there and he set up the try, which could well be the match winner. You think back to last year at one stage, Stu Kelly, he was criticised and in fact was dropped for lack of involvement in games, and you certainly can't accuse him of that tonight.
Well, David Penner, he was stretchered off with, I was thinking, concussion. He's put the kick up, and Stuart Kelly, we thought had a broken thumb earlier in the night, he has made it possible for Burt to score what will probably be a match-winning try. So the emergency ward have laid a try on.
Yeah, it's good to see players in adversity rise to the occasion. That's what a few have done in this Parramatta lineup. They'd have loved to have seen that conversion go over. Because at the moment, the Sharks just one converted try away. I wouldn't be surprised if Parramatta, unless they can sniff another try coming, turn it into a 7-point ball game, because I don't think the Sharks can score twice the way they're playing.
Penner's kick is a beauty. Way down the ground, into the end goal, and Peachey on the kick return. Daniel Wagon, let's not forget his part in the try. Eddinghausen. Paul McNicholas is the Shark in 18. Madison. Nicholas, giant of a youngster. There he is now. Healy. And look at this. Look at the accuracy of the boot of Mitch Healy. Great asset to the Sharks over a long period of time. Andrew.
Yeah, Paul McNicholas, the big huntsman. He's on for Andrew Pearce. Andrew Pearce won't be back.
Northern Eagles fans have got a good reason to get down to Brookvale on Monday. With the big crowd at North Power Stadium on week 1. The Central Coast people have set quite a standard. So you Manly and North Sydney fans, you should get there Monday for what will be a great game. Northern Eagles versus the Panthers.
He's been strong in the second half, especially David Kidwell. They're using him rightly. On that occasion, a forward ruck, so to speak, but he's been hitting the ball out wide, straight and hard.
Dimmock. Custo. The sort of player, Custo, that as you get deep into a game, you've got to pay close attention to him. He's starting to build quite a track record.
6 again here for the Parramatta side. Daniel Wagon taking that rebound. The referee ruling that the Sharks played at the ball. They will beg to differ as Bella takes it inside the 20. Big opportunity here for the home team.
Custo for Penner. Inside ball for Dimmock. They're right in front of the uprights, 10 metres out, leading by 6. Penner takes the shot. Looked okay. Looks good. Up goes the arm. There's the point for Parramatta. 19 to 12 now.
He sold it really well, David Penner. He didn't look as though he was going to take the field goal. He looked at his outside players, motioned that he was going to pass the football. The Sharks players all stopped, and that gave him plenty of time. He put himself in a great position and gave himself time to show his body language again.
John Lang. It's a penalty to the Sharks against the Parramatta player taking the Cronulla chaser out, and Lang comes to his feet.
Yeah, he's pointing for goal. He wants to get inside the 7. He wants Rogers to put them 5 behind and give them a chance to score a late converted try.
It's looking like he's going to be overruled.
Well, I can't believe that he's going to be, because he was adamant, and he will be disappointed that the message either didn't get there or was overruled.
Well, that's what he's saying. Take the 2. Take the 2. Or take a shot. So much for John and what he wanted. Now, McKenna. Will they convert the decision into 6? 9 minutes to go. Healy. That's McNicholas. There's the try line. Treaster. Healy. Taken by Moran. Peachy's gone to dummy half. Dykes. They go out. One of the Parramatta players slipped over. Mellor is tackled. Tackle number 5.
He's lost it.
Yeah, there's a big tackle there by Stuart Kelly on Mellor, because you're right, Rabbi. One of the Parramatta defenders did slip down. Kelly came in and crunched him. There's the loose ball. Look at the Parramatta play slip over, and then Kelly says, I've got to make this tackle, and it was a good one.
It's David Penner leaving the field. I think you'll find plenty of concern after all of that action. The halfback, it's been a brave effort well, by all the players out there, but especially a couple of carrying injuries, and Penner, as we pointed out, has already left the field. This time, under somewhat of his own steam, the last time on his back.
A very distressed David Penner there.
Keep it square, wait for the ball.
Keep
Wait for
an
the ball,
eye on
easy.
what transpires there. It was concussion, and I tend to doubt that it must have been concussion because they wouldn't let him go back on. He's heading for the tunnel with the doctor with him now as Parramatta bring it away from their 10-metre line.
I wouldn't be surprised if that heavy knock and the pretty humid conditions down there probably combined to make it very distressing for him.
Dimmick. Shavovsky. Beat one, taken in the second by McKenna. Moran. Dummy half run. Linking up with Kidwell. Good hand. Outside the 40. A second attempt by Kidwell. Up to the 40-metre line, the other end of the park. Moran's pass has gone astray. Richardson to play it for the Sharks. McNicholas, Mellor. Lang. Incidentally, tickets for the Anzac Test being played on Good Friday are on sale now. And people anxious to get tickets to what will be a tremendous international between Australia and New Zealand. Ticketek 92664800. 92664800. Tickets on sale now for the Anzac International. Mellor. Oh, Rogers. He went up and came down. The ball went away, and it's with Peachy. Peachy for Rogers. Got it away again. Martin Lang. Short ball for Treaston. Adam Dykes. Dykes is taken by Hodgson. Six minutes to go. (19-12). Peachy got it away for Eddinghausen. He flicks it. They're over. Healy. Mitch Healy is over. Brilliant try by the Sharks.
Oh, Quicksilver stuff there. David Peachy on the last tackle. They ran the football. He took them on. He held the play up. He's an athlete. Gets the ball on the inside to Eddinghausen. He looked like he might score, but Shavovsky came up with a great tackle, and Mitch Healy under the post to give his team a lifeline.
Well, Peachy's looked the man most likely all night. He's made that clean bust there, and Eddie Rogers right in front. Should be a good last 5 minutes.
Converted. 19-18. Parramatta leading the Sharks with 5 to go, and this was the try on replay, Andrew.
Ray, you wouldn't see better skills than this at the best circus in town. Some of the play from the Sharks right here. This is tremendous skill. They do the sort of drills at training to work on the hand-eye coordination, but this was just superb from all the lead-up men for the Sharks try from Healy. 19-18, we're talking 4.5 minutes to go.
And don't get caught up in thinking that if they'd have taken the 2 points on offer earlier, as we see it again from front on, and this will show it up beautifully, especially the last little flick from ET. But if they do take that 2 points or possible 2 points, the whole game changes. And they never got the opportunity to score that try, so that's not the difference.
McNicholas pulled down on his own 20-metre line. Lang, he's lost it, and Simpkins will pack a scrum down. The advantage to Parramatta. So Parramatta leading by 1. of that encounter groggily. Madison goes on.
Up and still. Don't push. It's out.
Custo.
Good. Let him go.
Last year the Eels in the corresponding game got them 22-0. Tonight it's 19-18. Shivolski, 20-meter line. Moran to the short side. Hudson. Now Ryan. 7 meters away from the line. Moran out for Dimmock. Dimmock across for Custo. And Custo put down by Graham. This is the last now for the Eels. For Jim Dimmock. Kicks high to Howland's wing, and the little fellow does well.
He did extra well there because as soon as he took it, he went to ground. He knew that if he stood up in the tackle, he'd have got driven backwards. Takes it, sees them come in, goes straight down.
Peachy. Tackled now just inside the 20-meter line. McNicholas.
The Eels must be very careful not to give away a penalty in any shape or form here. They cannot give a consecutive set of 6 to their opponents. McKenna trying to bust them out wide. That's the last tackle now.
Healy through the hands. Dykes, he kicks. Eddinghausen's the chaser. Eddinghausen! Oh, beautiful stuff! Now the race is on! And Parramatta forced the ball in goal.
You talk about that, Paul.
Oh, it's magic stuff. Now, E.T., he might have torn 2 hamstrings there. He was going that fast. And he is getting on. He's 33. A little set play. Look at him striding out to get there, and then he kicked it on the run. Beautiful stuff from E.T. Magical.
Oh, that's outstanding, isn't it? And it's within 2 minutes to the end of the game. Yeah, he copped the knee late.
Yeah, he copped the knee.
Accidental. Now, what do the Sharks do? Do they set for a field goal? We've stopped the clock with 1 minute and 3/4 left. I'm just wondering whether they work through the 6 and then put up the field goal.
Eismunger on the kick return.
Now watch for Healy. He'd be the field goal exponent. But if they look like they're setting for it, it won't present itself. They've got to try and score and call upon that as a last resort.
And what Parramatta must not do is give a penalty, because then with Rogers, they could win the game. That is the 3rd play. They are 15 metres from the line.
We hear the call from the bench is field goal.
Graham.
That's 4 gone, 2 left. Now's the best time to take it.
Healy wants it now. Healy goes for the shot. Healy puts it over the uprights. He's missed it. It's just gone to the right of the uprights. Healy curses himself.
Well, Mitch Healy could have this at training 50 times and kick it 50 out of 50. The pressure of the big game, though, 19-18, netting it for a draw. And it's been a great effort from the Eels.
30 seconds to go. And the Eels must play it out. Dummy half stuff. Nothing stupid. They can't give the Sharks a sniff. 33 metres out from their own line as they shut it down. Parramatta has won by 19 points to 18. Superb effort by the Eels. They came off the blocks a little bit slowly, but they finished the better. They ground home. 14-12 at the break. They won 19-18 over the team described as the form team of the competition. So in 2 nights, we've had the Bulldogs and the Eels climb off the floor and win in week number 3, their first match of the year. 19-18. Parramatta defeating the Sharks.